Wouldn't want you to miss this war.
We're giving hand-me-down planes.
I feel like I'm flying my grandfather's Buick.
They got us out here using planes to mop floors, fellas.
Get your head up, son. You're fighter pilots.
Kellvin Chavez from SideReel's partner site, Latino Review, sat down with a cast of Red Tails, as well as a former Tuskegee Airman, for an exclusive interview.
You've been in a Tuskegee Air film before. What was it about this one that brought you in? And not only that, but what sets this one aside from the other films?
You see the brilliance of what they were accomplishing or had in mind to accomplish, and you see the camaraderie. This one, you never saw me on a plane before. This one, you get to see what the Tuskegee Airmen did inside those planes. Every person that watches this film, you know, somehow in these mirror neurons that sits on either side of our cranium that allows us to mimic. When we watch these scenes, we don't watch it as if, you know, we're watching somebody else flying. In our mind, the same neurons fire as if we're the ones actually fighting in those planes. And you add the special effects to it too. Oh my God. That's why I wanted to be a part of this. This is so much bigger than any story that's ever been told about the Tuskegee Airmen.
Train, 11 o'clock.
It's military.
Let's give those newspapers something to write about.
There are 1,600 special effects shots in this film, which is up there with films like Avatar and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's a heck of a lot of work and man hours has gone into this film, and you only get those resources working with someone like George Lucas.
And according to Lucas, this is like the first all-black action-packed movie.
Well, you named me one before this. I mean, I certainly couldn't name one to you. And the great thing about it is it's not a film that has been made for any particular niche market. You know, not for the black audience, not for it's just a movie for the world.
We count our victories. By the husbands, we return to their wives. By the fathers, we get back to their children. To the last minute, to the last man, we fight. We fight.
Yes, sir. So it's a great story in that it tells in good film technology exactly what we did and how we did it. And the air-to-air combat is just the icing on the cake that makes the movie, because it lets people know what being a combat pilot is, and it's not about black or white, it's about being a combat pilot. They brought me and Lee Archer, Billy Holloman over as consultants, and they understood the historical significance of the Tuskegee Airmen and why this film was so important.
Right like that.
8 German fighters or 80 still doesn't change what I think of you and your boys.
We don't care.
This is a celebration of the bravery that are these warriors that fought and did bomber escort over the skies of Berlin. I mean, and George Lucas knows how to do a dogfight. You see this movie, you feel like you're in a P-51 Mustang, flying, you know, being shot at by Messerschmitts.
We need to change the way we fight. I need pilots who will put the bombers ahead of themselves.
Can you help save lives?
At all costs, you protect the heavies.
Fighters, full clock, stay with the bombers.
Anything that will promote excellence in a way that you can take from that story and apply it to the community now and help, you know, black and brown, like help everyone that are disenfranchised with a story of excellence and capacity. It's something you're going to want to be a part of, and to be able to do it with the resources of George Lucas, who put his money where his mouth was.
We've done every low-down, dirty job you've handed us.
You have not assigned us a single forward mission.
You're just going to have to suffer a failure.
To quote Tristan the other day, it was like they weren't second option, they were not an option. You know, they had these guys doing grunt work, strafing runs, and just give them some little throwaway planes and let them fly around over there for 2 years. You know what I mean? But not understanding that 2 years is part of what made them as good as they were, because you know the other pilots got like 3 months of training. These guys were basically training for 2 years straight. So when they did see some combat, they were aces already.
And another thing that added to it is just, you know, like Elijah always states, they were given the scraps. So to be given the scraps at first and to learn how to fly these planes, as well as these other pilots fly their planes once you get the same type of planes they have, you're gonna be the most amazing at it.
We have a right to fight for our country, the same as every other American. So you shut us down, or you let us fly.
But to fight for your country, that takes a level of courage that nobody really understands. To fight for a country that doesn't want you is a whole nother type of thing. A whole nother ball game. And these guys did it. They were saving people that didn't even consider them in life.